Hi, today we're going to be looking at integrated teaching methods. So in this video, we're going to look at the integrated teaching method as described by the textbook. And these are demonstrations, Socratic discussion, concept attainment, and cooperative learning. Demonstrations can be two ways. You can have an ordinary demonstration where the students watch you do something and sometimes they repeat it. So this can be used in science courses, in English language arts, maybe writing a sentence or describing a sentence, social studies where you do a web search or engage a document, math, you solve a proof, and so on. Inquiry demonstrations are very similar to ordinary demonstrations, except that you ask the students what to do next. And this ties right into the Socratic discussion. So, in an inquiry demonstration, you ask the students, what does that mean? What am I going to do next? Socratic discussion is based upon the Socratic method. If you've ever had a philosophy course and you read Plato's dialogues, then you know what the Socratic method is. Now, Socrates always uses a very leading style of dialogue. He doesn't give answers, but he points you towards what the answer might be using logic. So, what does that mean? Might be a Socratic question in order to clarify a student's thinking. Do you suppose that this indicates a deeper level of insight into the educational process? Is a very Socratic question. You have to think about the answer. The yes no is not immediately clear. And then when you answer, of course, I'm going to say, what do you think that means? The next thing is concept attainment. uh, Three quick things that we all recognize with concepts. PEMDAS, so parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, adding and subtracting. For math, SCIMC is a method of text analysis for historical inquiry in social studies. Questioning text is a process by which students engage a text in English language arts. Now, each of those represent a way of teaching a concept. You could also include here teaching note taking, teaching conceptual points in literature such as poem or epic, so on and so forth. The concept attainment. How are you going to get those concepts across? Usually, concept attainment is not something that's done once. Usually, concepts are referred to again and again and again. Finally, cooperative learning. Now, cooperative learning, I'm using the Johnson & Johnson and Hobeck model, not necessarily the model presented by our textbook. Now, you'll understand why when you look at this in a minute. There are 5 basic elements to cooperative learning. First, cooperative learning is not group work. Group work is your teacher puts you into groups and tells you to work together. Works pretty well in college for the most part, as long as the groups are formed in class and there's some level of accountability. Cooperative learning is designed to work with younger learners, so elementary on through 12, so it's a K-12 program that makes students work together in a meaningful way. First is positive interdependence. Positive interdependence is things that work together to make students see meaning. A lot of times we call it tired frog, CTIREDFROG, tired frog. So you give the students a task. You have to complete this task by the end of class. You let them create an identity. We are the pirates of Penobscotch. Resource, you limit their resources. You only give them one text to fill out. Or an environmental. You are the northwest corner. Duty or role. So each person in the group has a role. Fantasy. You have to solve America's financial crisis. Reward. The group with the best answer gets cookie. Outside enemy goes right along with the reward. And then finally, goal. What is the goal? Students can work together to achieve a goal. Promote interaction. Here you're talking about thinking very carefully about things that happen. So agree for rules for working in cooperative learning. Select a topic. What are the students going to be doing? Teach social skills. You may have heard me talk about this before. And assign students to groups. If you're going to do any of these things, why are you going to do them? What is the motivation behind doing the stuff that you're doing? Individual and group accountability is important because you don't just want the group to uh, get a blanket grade. What if one person really did slack off and the whole group ended up failing? Should they get a failing grade for that because they couldn't get one student to do his or her job? Interpersonal teamwork skills, again, teaching these social skills. Um, Identify what level your students are as far as social skills, and then build them into the lesson. We talked about T-charts, we talked about practice, and all of this stuff. We talked about that part already. And then group processing. After you're done, uh, you ask the students not about the content, but you do that too, but also about how it was to work in a group and how they might be able to work better. The link to this website that I'm referencing for this content is up online. There's lots of great stuff here, lots of reading, lots of examples from this website. This is one example of integrated learning. Today's class, we're going to continue working on our lesson plans. We're going to see if there are any ways in which we can incorporate integrated learning into our lesson plan. Have fun.